What is up, guys? Back on the streets with another video. Brand new day. I made a little change. I mentioned it on the last video. I sold my single dividend stocks for cryptocurrency again. I figured if I'm using the money that's not in SCHD for speculation, why not go for the gold? Balls to the wall. Drinking coffee, and the cleaners are here. We have cleaners come once a month. So I turned all the lights on. Wife's moving stuff around, ripping bed sheets and doing laundry. Say hi. Hi. So guys, she's obsessed with Michael Jackson. She wears one white glove she has eczema real bad. If anybody has eczema on the channel and you found something that's helped you, leave it in the comments, because I know we always talk about things like, people say like, cut your sugar out, do this, do that. She's already kind of dialed in with all that stuff, food-wise. But if anybody has a secret weapon for eczema, leave a comment. Alright guys, I'm on short time, so I'm eating this chicken real quick with mustard. I might not be doing the no sugar right, because I looked up, I'm like, mayonnaise, oh, this mayonnaise doesn't have sugar, so I threw a little mayonnaise on there. Alright guys, I'm back on the streets. About to hit the gym. I'm gonna go hit the gym real quick. Parkinson's Law. I'll see if I can get in there and get out by 12:45. It's 12:09. I don't have any time, and this is the only way I can try to fit it in. I gotta do what I gotta do. I didn't walk this morning, so I'm way behind on the 10,000 steps. But I'm doing back today in the gym. Decent stock, right? I forget. They might be obsolete. Shred and paper. I don't know how much paper we're going to be using in the future. Holy hell, their PE ratio is 751. Oh, the gym looks like it's not busy at all. There's a bunch of parking spots. Put my headphones in and get in there. You guys know I have an e-commerce business? Well, we file and remit sales tax in pretty much every single state that collects sales tax, and for some reason Missouri hit me for $5,900 from a tax return in 2023. I looked at our Avalara account, and sure enough, that month it didn't file a return. I don't know if it was a fluke with the system, but you got to give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar. So I had to just dish out $6 grand out of my bank account, which I wasn't planning on. Sometimes I guess that's how the cookie crumbles, but it sucks. It stresses me out because I don't have a lot of money in the bank in my business account, and I'm trying to keep my ad spend low so I can build the funds back up, because I want to replenish my inventory before this holiday season kicks off. So it puts a little bit of a pickle in my plans. Alright guys, just finished at the gym. I was doing back today. Oh boy, nice and toasty. I can't believe it's already October. It's the first of the month. Shout out to all the business owners out there. First of the month, I have a little system. I have to send my payroll for the month, my payroll detail, payroll taxes, and all those to I pay them already, but I send the exports from my QuickBooks to my CPA. I send my Shopify payouts, I send my PayPal statements, and he reconciles everything. And then it's the end of Q3, so I send my Q3 payroll stuff to my CPA. I have two CPAs. I have like an accountant, and they're both accountants, but I have one that reconciles my bank account and does my accounting for my business. I talk to him like maybe twice a month. And then I have one that files my taxes at the end of the year, and he also does my payroll taxes, and he's based in Florida. The first guy's not based in Florida, but I've been working with him for 10 years. So I was talking about cryptocurrency on the last video. When I went on there, I got on the treadmill. I've been walking because I'm trying to get my steps. I'm trying to get to 10,000 steps. I did back too, but towards the end I did not steps, I walked on the treadmill. So, till I realized the phone was sitting on the treadmill, and I'm like, I'm not counting my steps. I was walking for like 10 minutes until I picked the phone up. Dude, look at that TRX. Pretty cool looking. Holy cow, Bitcoin's back to 117. SCHD was in the green a little bit. Popped up, now it's just kind of hovering around. So I've been immersing myself back in crypto. I don't know why, I go through phases. I think I just get bored. So I just jump from one thing to the next. It can be good and bad. I'm not straying from my dividend strategy, so don't think I'm doing that. I still have $1,560,000 in SCHD, producing almost $60,000 a year, $58,000 a year. If I wanted to get back to the $60,000 a year mark, I could sell a little bit of my SCHD and add a couple single high yield dividend stocks like some of the ones I had. But I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. I just like to keep things simple for right now. But back to crypto. So I'm gonna have about $80,000 in cryptocurrency here tomorrow. Right now I have about 40. So out of my total portfolio, it's a very small portion. But I don't like to buy things blindly. So I like to ask a lot of questions I don't hear people ask. I just want to know things, you know, I want to understand how everything works. All the way down to the guy behind the screen pushing the button, making the crypto take off. Psych, I'm joking. like you guys realize I don't understand anything. I want to figure out how you get the crypto. What do you do what happens after you smoke it? What happens after you smoke the crypto? I'm joking. So what I was getting at was this. I was deep diving into Solana because I've always had some Solana, just off the thesis that Solana's faster than Ethereum. Solana is Ethereum. If you put the chart of Ethereum on top of Solana's chart, you can see Solana is like Ethereum 5 years ago, almost to a T with the cycle. But there's some interesting statistics around Solana. Solana has a much higher throughput rate. So at one time, Solana had 355 million transactions in a 7-day period. It was more transactions than all the blockchains put together. But what's interesting about Solana is they're built to scale. They built a Solana with scaling in mind, where I feel like Ethereum didn't. And now Ethereum needs so many layer 2s to scale. Vitalik Buterin, he built Ethereum to be like a world computer. He didn't really build it for scale. He built it to be decentralized and secure. Solana, Ethereum already existed. So they had success leaves clues. They could look at Ethereum and say, oh, look at this. We need to solve this trilemma. So Solana wanted to build the layer 1 so it could scale the layer 1. Ethereum needs all these layer 2s. Arbitrum, Optimism, all the ZK rollups. Solana has layer 2s too. But Solana, they want to be, picture it like this. Picture Ethereum's a huge city. And in order to go from one part of the city to the other, you need to take a whole bunch, you need to switch trains. And every time you switch trains, you have to pay a fee. See, that's the issue. Let's say Robinhood wants to go on chain and access something on Ethereum. They might have to pay sequencer fees. They might have to pay fees from the layer 2. And then they get access to the layer 1. Where Solana, they don't want any fragmentation. Solana wants everything. Solana would be a city with a high-speed train that gets you directly to the point you want to go. The more I was diving deep into Solana, I'm like, damn, dude. I tried to think of an analogy that could describe it to somebody so they could make sense of what I'm trying to say. But I started thinking to myself, man, Solana might be a sleeping giant. Stripe, PayPal, Visa, they're all building payment rails on Solana, or they're testing, because they had Solana Pay, because I use Shopify and I can remember seeing Solana Pay in there and I was like, oh damn, what's this? Plus Solana has 00, a decentralized public infrastructure. They're working on trying to create their own internet for blockchain networks. I'm not trying to be Mr. Crypto. I'm just throwing out some stuff because I like I said, I want to, if I'm going to take a little portion of my portfolio and put it in cryptocurrency, I always have Bitcoin, I've always had Ethereum, I've always had Solana, I've always had XRP, I've always had Chainlink. These are some of the names I always had. Then I started adding Aptos, Mina, Hedra. I always had, I used to have Flow, I used to have Arbitrum, I used to have Optimism, I used to have, what else did I used to have? I used to have all the layer 2s. Injective Protocol, Immutable X I used to have. I used to go deeper down into the layer 2s, and I would try to get as much as I could. I would research what they did. Oh, I used to have AMP. I used to have Aave, Compound. What else did I used to have? I used to have Binance, BNB. But if I don't truly understand what I'm buying, when it tanks, I'm out. No, I'm not out that quick. But it's, if you don't have conviction in something, it's easy to just be like, what the hell do I own, you know? I'm surprised I've held the SCHD as long as I have. Shout out to one of our viewers. He's awesome, by the way. He said, dude, if you ever come to California, I'm in wine country, you can stay at the Airbnb. I appreciate you, dude. He wrote, man, why the rash decisions? He's like, you sold the SCHD, bought it back. You sold your crypto, bought it back. It's just I told him, you're just getting a glimpse of my personality in real time. Most people wouldn't show this. They would make the moves, and then when things went well for them, then they'd show you like, hey guys, I switched to Bitcoin. Bitcoin doubled, and you know what I mean? I'm the opposite. I'm like, I switched, guys. I lost half my money. Now I'm switching back. Now I got to pay taxes, and I got to do this and that. No, but I'm just showing you guys for fun, you know? This is what I've been doing for years. I've been doing this for years, just jumping around like a fool. It's good to watch because then this is what you shouldn't do. I try to control myself. Today, I was about to sell my entire 1.6 million in SCHD and go all in crypto. After watching one video, I was about to be all in. Changing the channel name. Wearing a different t-shirt, says Crypto Kid or something. You got to be careful following me because I'm all over the place, I'm telling you guys. But investing's not supposed to be like that. It's supposed to be boring. But dig deeper on Solana. I know everybody knows Solana, and there's Solana bulls already and everything. And I know Solana's come a long way. But just dig deeper into Solana, because I think that Solana as a blockchain even for institutions, like, you know, like let's say for example, institutions are rushing to join on chain, to get on chain, and they're like, we need to get our products on chain. What is this? We need to do this. We need to do that. They're going to they might look at Ethereum first because it seems like the most trusted, probably has the most projects on it, a lot of stable coins. But eventually, as the dust settles and they have more time, because I think they were caught off guard how quickly the administration's moving into this Clarity Act, and the Genius Act passed. I think it's all happening so much quicker, and they were really caught off guard. Because it seems like some things slipped through the cracks in the Genius Act that the large institutions didn't want to happen, like that DeFi protocols on blockchain can control yield on stable coins and stuff. They want to have control over the yield on the stable coins, and they want to have more control. And I think maybe they didn't realize, or maybe it just happened so quickly, I'm not sure. But now they're trying to undo those things. So they're having a round table. Go on YouTube and type in like SEC roundtable crypto, or Market Structure Clarity Act roundtable. There's a lot of people in there. There's someone from Robinhood. There's people from Crypto.com. All the exchanges are there. Plus, all the heads of the banks are there. Like Bank of America's there. And it's kind of interesting to watch them go back and forth. Some of the topics they talk about is like 24/7 trading. One of the Bank of America employees was saying, like, or it might not have been Bank of America, was saying, we can't have 24/7 trading. We don't have the staff. And one of the crypto heads was saying, well, you know, crypto's trustless. It's you know, you don't need a third party. That's the purpose of it. Peer to peer. But it's interesting to see them going back and forth. It's just crazy times, because who knows what's going to happen. Things are moving a lot quicker than you think. But I had to control myself and say, don't just go speculate, Chris, and put all your money right back into crypto. I've had at times, no joke, I'm not exaggerating, and I'm not trying to talk about like sums of money or anything like that. I'm talking about as like to give you a description of how wild manish I can be and idiotic. I've had times where I've literally had, like, I put $1 million and I'm like, I'm going all in on, I'm trying to think what I was going all in on. I guess I was going all in on Ethereum at one time. I've gone all in on Chainlink at one time. I've gone all in on Bitcoin at one time. I had 7 when I went. That was the beginning of this year. And guess what happened? I have $145,000 gain from that. I think it was the beginning of this year. Yeah, because Coinbase says I already owe $145,000 in a gain, which I don't even know if I can account for it. I probably lost it already. You know what I mean? So, because what'll happen is you'll swap, or you'll sell. You'll get the gain, you'll sell, you'll put it in something else, then you lose the money. And then if you don't do like tax loss harvesting, you have the gain and you don't have the funds. But you still got to pay it. They don't care. So, but if I was young and I had nothing, I probably would take some from my paycheck and just be like, you know what? I'm going balls to the wall. I'm saying I would have a plan. I would dollar cost average the S&P 500. I'm not advocating for being like super risky. I'm just saying that's what I was doing when I was young. I remember like I would get a little bit of money. I'd be like, I'm buying Shopify stock. Put a ton in like not a ton, but a ton of my paycheck in Shopify stock, and then a couple weeks later I overdraft my bank account. I need to sell it because I didn't have an emergency fund. But everybody goes off the past performance with Bitcoin. I think mainly because of the halving cycle. So they think every 4 years, this happens exactly like the last time. But I think it's following the debt cycle and the business cycle. So things might not happen the way that, like, people might be thinking like, oh, like they're trying to time it. Like I watch a lot of videos where there's charts where people will say like this exact amount of time after the halving, the price goes up this percentage. But maybe everything's not going to play out the way you think, because also the more institutional money and the more money that comes into the asset itself, the less volatile it's going to be and the lower the returns will be. You're really having that's the fastest horse, because you're literally watching the formation of an asset class. It'd be like if you bought the gold ETF and held it until now, when it was formed, when like Nixon removed the dollar from the gold standard, and I don't know when the gold ETF was created, but you get what I'm saying. We're watching a major shift in an asset class. Now keep in mind, you got a diesel mechanic telling you all this, so this is not financial advice. It's just for entertainment purposes only. Do your own research. And don't bet the farm. You need a place to sleep. I'll see you guys on the next video. I appreciate you guys.
Ooh. All right. Woo. This is light work.